Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates, another FPL Friday, the last FPL Friday, if you get me, of the season. We're hoping to have more Friday uploads and streams in the future, aren't we, Josh?
Yeah, we are indeed. It's going to be a hectic next couple of months, the Euros, and then FPL starts again whilst the Euros are on. It's going to be a bit mental. But today we've got an awesome guest on. We've got FPL Penguin. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Now, we'll get into a bit of guest background. We always do this. So what team do you support? And kind of give us a bit of background into why you support the team that you do.
Well, right behind me, Andy Robertson. Support Liverpool FC. I've supported Liverpool for about 14 years now, since about the age of 12. Gone to a lot of home games. Just love the team. Yeah, well, another reason to choose them as well. You go to school, everyone's supporting Man United, want someone different. Got two granddads that both support Man United. Tried to convert me into a Manchester United fan, but I chose Liverpool. Just fell in love with my club. And I've gone, like I said, loads of games, and I've not looked back. Really enjoyed supporting Liverpool. You know, love them.
Awesome. So they've been doing hot and cold this season, shall we say? Not as good as last season for sure. What would you say is the go-to assets? Obviously, a massive game this weekend. A lot of people probably like tripling up on Liverpool assets. So if you had to pick three, you was on a wild card. Which are your go-to three for this game week?
For this game, it's going to be a tough game. For Liverpool? Liverpool against Crystal Palace, it just feels like a bogey fixture. I know, it's a must-win game against Crystal Palace, trying to get that top four. Chelsea above us. Like I know, if they lose a draw against Villa and both Leicester and Liverpool win, Chelsea go fifth. All to play for. But I think, we've played better, and I don't feel having Trent Alexander-Arnold's a bad shout. He's been doing good. He's improved a lot. I wish he was that same Trent that he is now in the middle of the season. We would have loved that as FPL managers too. Jota's out. Klopp's come out and said he's could be a tiny chance. But definitely Trent. I think Trent's one. He's quite expensive. Go for it. Salah going for that golden boot. A lot of people jumping on Mane. A lot of people are saying, because what I've been seeing on Instagram, Mane's probably a shout, but I think Salah's the best one because he's going for that golden boot. I think him and Kane blanked in the last game week, both blanked. But I think Salah, Trent, and call me crazy, but I might say Bobby Firmino. I think he's one that could do something.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you've named my three Liverpool assets, so I'm kind of happy about that. There's definitely a lot of options, though. A lot of people going. Obviously, Nat Phillips. You've got him, haven't you? Scoring a goal in the week. How would you feel about that one?
Oh, he's a hero, isn't he, Nat Phillips? Absolute hero. As probably a few of you knew, on Twitter, I wasn't actually active during those games, so Josh had to get my reaction in. And he did it perfectly, really. I think I probably would have tweeted those exact words. But yeah, couldn't believe that I brought him in on a hit on a -4 and done the business. We'll get into that now, actually, and kind of review game week 37 and how it went. And I may as well pull up mine straight away off the bat. I got 57 points this week overall. Not a bad week for me. I did take a -4, as I said, to bring in Nat Phillips and Mason Greenwood. The week started off pretty badly, I'm not going to lie, with Meslier in goal and Forster on the bench. Both my keepers not starting. Meslier not going to start in game week 38 either, so I'm going to have to think about that carefully. Across the back line, again, started off bad with Luke Shaw, but Lucas Digne, again, what a transfer in he has been. Another 2 bonus points. Dallas with a clean sheet. And Big Nat Phillips, 13 points. You can't ask for much more from a 4.3 million assets, something like that. Ridiculous. My captain blanked this week, Salah, but no one really had a captain return unless you went a bit differential. Bruno with what can only be described as a dodgy assist, resulting in a 4-pointer for him. Lingard and Antonio, that turned my week into a green arrow, I think, with that last-minute goal, both of them linking up and scoring. The pain starts, though, on the bench a little bit. Watkins and Rudiger on my bench for a 9-pointer each. Looking in hindsight, who would I have benched? Who would I have started? I probably would have started the same way regardless, because I think the players that I had on the pitch were good enough. Who's going to bench Luke Shaw, against Fulham at home? Who's going to bench Greenwood at home to Fulham? And who's going to bench Kane? My 3 players who didn't return this week. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the 57 points. And small green arrow. Been a pretty bad season for me. And we move on up from there. What do you guys think of that team?
I think, with your bench, but I think Phillips, a good one. You can see right there with the double figures. I don't think you've done bad, to be honest with you, but I think Greenwood, he blanked, didn't he? So I think it's hard to predict with the Manchester United players who's going to really turn up, isn't it? Bruno, the deadly one. Well, should I say with that assist? So that goal assist. Being a non-Bruno owner myself, I'll say that I'm a non-Bruno owner. That really, really was a kick in the teeth. That was. So thanks, FPL. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know how he got it, to be honest. It was crazy, but you've had a really, really solid week, all given, I think, compared to the first day, you picked up on the second. You had loads of returns, didn't you? So very good. And what are you, 400k now? That's not too bad, man.
Yeah, 400-ish. It's all right, but had much higher aspirations this season. But a lot of people struggled this year, so we'll hope that we can just get another green arrow next week and see where we end up. But yeah, Josh, do you want to? Have you got your team up?
Yeah, it's all ready to go. For me this week, not as high as Ben, about 44 points. I took a -8 as well because I had injuries galore. There's a bit of ropes over in this camp. So in total, it was a little red arrow. It wasn't too major, though. I think I dropped 20,000 in rank. It wasn't too crazy. I knew I weren't going to do too great, given that I was taking the -8. We obviously started Henderson in goal, and then obviously it came out that De Gea was starting instead of him, but Henderson will then start on Sunday, should I say, and De Gea in the cup final. So Areola came in. He did a lot better than I expected. It's a shame he got a yellow card towards the end. He would have had about 5 points otherwise. He would have got a bonus and maybe an extra save point. Sure, disappointing. United seem to concede every week, especially since Maguire's gone out. Yet to win a game since he's gone out. So not ideal owning him at the minute. He might be one that makes way this week. Holgate was just someone who I could afford out of that Everton defence. He's just not really getting the minutes. So off the bench, you got a 1-pointer there. Trent, as mentioned, doing unreal. I think he's only blanked once in the last 9 game weeks. And that was against Newcastle in the 90th minute when they got their goal. Fernandez, don't know how that's his assist. It's crazy. FPL Twitter went into meltdown. It was class, though, to watch. Salah captain, again, disappointing. Rafinha and Harrison was very disappointing when they win 2-0 and neither of them getting in the action. Lingard with that late assist and 2 bonus points was tasty. Kane, blank. Spurs just looked terrible. I think Kane's XG for that game was 0.09 or something like that. It was horrific. And then pretty much a saving grace. One of my transfers in this week was Bobby Firmino getting that goal, getting those 2 bonus points. He looks really good, to be fair. He's picked up, I think, ever since that United game, maybe a bit of a turning around for him for a bit of form. He took the goal quite well. His link-up play was really nice as well. So, yeah, not the best week, don't get me wrong, in terms of rank and everything. But to be honest, the season's over already for me. I'm just taking hits and just having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, that Firmino pick, I'm a bit jealous that you've got him in at the moment because he's got what his last 4 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, something. He's banging form. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that one, FPL Penguin?
He's not having he's having a better season than me because he's exactly 1 million and I'm 1.8. But you got to try good to keep him. Going to the last game as well, like I mentioned, key player. Unlucky with the captaincy for Salah as well. You got Lingard. Lingard's, been a fantastic loan signing for West Ham. The question is, will he stay with West Ham? That's the question. Or will he go back to Manchester United and try and prove a point to the manager and try and get a starting place at my United team? So I hope he does stay West Ham, get a permanent move. Be great for his FPL managers. He's been a beast in that midfield and helped them attacking wise. And you were lucky as well with Bobby Firmino. I know someone else in the community went for Firmino. I kind of questioned it because Firmino isn't one of them that gets the goals. As we know, he's a bit of a false number 9. And but yeah, you've done good. Like I said, and also with the Leeds players, it's hard to predict who's going to get the points. You've got Bamford, Rodrigo, Harrison, Rafinha. You can't go wrong with the double Leeds tackle, especially for last game, and especially with the fans back at Ellen Road for the last game of the season. That's going to be something too. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm even questioning myself for getting a Leeds triple up in attack as well, not even a defender. I think it's going to go off in that game. They look really good, and I don't think Bielsa will let up. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll just go to the end with his players, keeping that fitness. I saw some graph today that they run harder and faster than any other team in the Premier League. It's crazy. Like, they're up here, and then everyone else is around here. It's mental in the graph.
Yeah, we'll get up. FPL Penguins team now. Here we go. So those are the points total. Do you want to talk us through a team, and I'll scroll through?
Yeah, basically ranked about 1.8 million. Can't wait till the season ends. 45 points, a -8 taken. Nothing to rave about. But captaincy came out good with Cavani, and I had De Gea in my. I should see in my team who would have got that assist, but FPL giving it to Bruno. I just can't believe that. I'm just absolutely. I'm just so gutted. But yeah, nothing to really rave about my team. Or Suchek on my bench, Alioski. That just sums up my season, to be honest, guys. But yeah, feel free to stop the stream. There's nothing more to talk about. But yeah, that's how I got on Smith Rowe in there. But that's nothing too exciting. So that's how I got on.
I mean,
Stones and Diaz, unfortunately, Brighton scoring.
That De Gea assist is probably the difference between you getting a green and red arrow. I'd be frustrated if I was you with that. Yeah. But this season a lot of good players have struggled. I know I've seen all over Twitter players who are really, really consistent, just not in the high ranks this season for some reason. So it's not just you that's struggling. It's a lot of people. So there's always next season. We go again. I think everyone's probably looking. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to going again next year. But should we move on, Josh, to my favourite part of FPL Fridays? It's the FPL Trivia quiz. Josh, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so FPL Penguin is going to have 60 seconds on the clock. He's going to be able to answer as many questions as he can about FPL/Liverpool related questions. We had our record broken again last week. Glenn Kitely came on. He's been talking in our ears all season. He's like, I can come on and beat it. And to be fair to him, he did it, didn't he, Ben?
Yeah, so what is it? 8 points?
8 points indeed. The lowest score we've had is 0.5, so I don't think you can really get much worse than that.
Wow. I'll try my best.
We'll give it a go. That's all we can ask. So, Josh, have you got it ready?
Yeah, time is ready. Ready whenever you are.
3, 2, 1. Which Liverpool asset scored the most FPL points in game week 37?
Trent.
Andy Robertson. What price is Robertson currently on FPL?
7.3.
7.2. How many clean sheets have Liverpool kept this season in the Premier League?
Oh, come on. I'm taking not many. I'm going to say probably 10.
11. Liverpool's top scorer is Mo Salah, but how many Premier League goals does he have so far this season?
21.
22. Other than Salah, who has the most FPL points out of Liverpool assets this season?
I'm going to say Trent.
Sadio Mane. Which player has picked up the most yellow cards in the league this season for Liverpool?
Trent.
Fabinho.
Oh, honestly, one off on about five of the questions.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
This is just one off. Like one off.
I mean,
It's like his FPL season. That was
I was
close.
I was gonna say that
just like that, yeah.
Well, we're just gonna swiftly move on from that and not talk about it.
Move
All
on.
right. We'll just look ahead now. We'll look ahead to game week 38 now.
Cheers, lads, for embarrassing me even more.
I feel really bad now. I made those questions. I thought some good questions in there.
You broke people's hearts today, Ben.
One off.
I'm probably going to go to bed crying tonight. So we'll move on and just talk about, the fixtures. FPL Penguin, I know it's been a tough season, but are there any fixtures that you're looking forward to going into game week 38? What sort of fixtures are you looking out for in terms of your FPL assets?
Oof. If I look at me, with my FPL assets, well, I'll let you know who I brought in. I brought in Harrison and Bamford. I think I'm looking forward to. Maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but like I said, the fans are back at Ellen Road. So the very very rowdy bunch. The Leeds supporters. And it's going to be great to see some of them in there. Like overall, seeing the fans. So I think Leeds could really go at West Brom. I don't think West Brom will be that much of a pushover. They proved it like Sheffield United since they got relegated. But I think like the definitely Leeds assets, I'm looking at Harrison and Bamford. I was going to bring in Rafinha instead of Harrison, but I just thought I'd go for Mr. Harrison and Bamford in there as well. Also the Liverpool game as well, Golden Boot, Liverpool for Salah. So that's going to be interesting as well. So I'm going to be definitely watching that game and hoping Salah does break the target and get to the most goals in that season. So just players like that, really. I'm looking forward to the Leeds game and the Liverpool game for my attacking assets.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm in the same camp with you, the Leeds game. I can't see that really going any other way. Maybe Leeds concede, but I still think they're going to go and run riot, get a couple goals for sure. I think the City-Everton game is going to be really interesting because obviously City won the league. They're at home, final day of the season. Whoever actually does play in that team, I think they'll be a shoo-in to get some points. I'm hoping for Ferran Torres because watching him play the last few weeks just goes to show how much of a decent player he is. I'm looking for him in my Euro 2020 team too because I think he's looking really, really decent in that City team. What are you looking for, Ben?
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be one of them. I think everyone's going to be like this week and not make their transfers until the last possible minute, just in case that there's some team news. So I think depending on what sort of team news I hear, and if I hear a couple of players here and there start in the starting lineup for the City game, that's reliable, not FPL Booner. He's managed to get us countless times, but he also got, what was it, last week he got it right?
Yeah, the City team.
And it was absolute scenes. And turns out he's got a crystal ball and yeah. But in terms of my team at the moment, the games I'm looking forward to are probably West Ham, Southampton. I'm really liking the look of that, especially with Matt Antonio Lingard double up against that Southampton defence at home. I mean, they're going to want to prove a point, aren't they, to their fans? And they're going to want to, the fans are going to be fully behind them. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. And it's crazy that before game week 1, me and Josh, we put up our hands when we say at the start of the season, we said avoid West Ham. And look what they've gone and done. Absolutely unbelievable job that David Moyes has done and the full team. So credit to them. We got it wrong at the start of the season. Let's hope that they continue to prove game week 1 us wrong.
Indeed. I think another fixture as well, just to touch on Leicester Spurs, because obviously it's a huge game. Kane going to be wanting that golden boot, as we've mentioned, and then Leicester obviously need to win to even have a chance of getting top 4. I've seen Iheanacho's goal involvement, expected goal involvement in the last 6 game weeks. It's absolutely incredible. It's like over 4.2, I do believe. So really nice option. Leicester need to score some goals. I think it has to be a +4 goal difference advantage for them. So I think they're going to go for it. I think also he's maybe a decent captaincy shout. We saw how Spurs defended against Villa, and I don't think it's going to really improve too much in the space of a few days. So I'd actually strongly suggest maybe Ian, if you really want to go ultra differential, go Kelechi this week for captaincy.
Yeah, that's a bit mad. And it moves us quite nicely on to captain picks and team reveals. Now, Josh, have you got your team up ready to show? I'm sure it will change though before the deadline, right?
Yeah, so this is the bus team, as everyone calls it. So Henderson's obviously in goal. Probably one of the worst transfers I made this season. I brought him in for that triple. Emi Martinez then outscores him, who I had, and I took him out for. And then he just doesn't perceive to play for the next few weeks. But he hopefully will play this week, bar an injury. Obviously, Trent, got Ben White there. Brighton, one of the best defensive teams in the league this season. Gone very under the radar. So he'll be there starting against Arsenal. Luke Shaw's there currently. Whether he's there by Sunday, it'll remain to be seen. I don't think he plays, to be honest. I think he'll be definitely safe for Europa League. He's one of those players that sadly can't play every game due to his injury history. Salah's there. I definitely won't be captaining Salah this week. No one like Kane, Bruno, or Salah is being captain this week. We're just going to go outside the box. Rafinha's on the vice at the minute. I really love the look of Leeds, as we've talked about. Lingard's a good shout. Southampton at home. Southampton always seem to concede goals. Bruno's there at the minute again, like Shaw. Don't know if he's going to play. He could be the one that makes way, so then I can free up some funds. Jack Harrison I brought in last week, obviously blanked, but I think him alongside Rafinha, they're surely going to get some sort of returns next week. Kane's there as well. Again, I was thinking about maybe taking him out, but because he's got that golden boot, I think why not just leave him in? I think maybe with Leicester pushing on and needing some goals, counter-attack's going to be possible for Spurs. And then Firmino is on the captaincy. I really love the look of him. He's actually, on the eye test against Burnley, he looks really, really good. Him, Salah and Trent on that sort of right-hand triangle. I really loved watching that. And then on the bench, nothing to shout about. Just a load of real bad picks towards the end of the season, like the Holgates, the Dean Hendersons. Had Aguero 2 weeks ago, and he obviously hadn't even started a minute. So not a great end to the season, but like everyone's had, not the best season, and looking forward to the next one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a bad team, that. And to be honest, it's the first time in a while that I've said, look, that Firmino captaincy pick, it's got points written all over it there. And I know you were laughing at me the other week or last week for thinking about putting Firmino in, but you've actually gone and done it. Very differential captain, could pay off very well. And even if, Salah does score, I think Firmino offsets that a little bit because he could get involved in the goals too. So pretty decent. FPL Penguin, what do you think of Josh's team going into this game week?
I like it. It's it looks good on paper. I'm not going to say anything too depressing or negative because I don't know how fixtures are going. We've seen so far this season high scoring game, wins. It's all good. Not trying to put you down. I could have a much worse game week than you.
He's gone.
We've lost him. Well, he was praising your team. So, it's a good team. We'll move on to. I'll just move on to mine and start talking about mine then, and hopefully we do get FPL Penguin back in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is my one here. I think he is back. He's back.
He is. Here he is.
Back. He's here.
I'm back. Twice now.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, apologies. Technology is going to be technology in it. But yeah, we'll move on to my team. I've started Forster in goal. I, to be honest, don't know whether he starts or not, but who knows? My current strategy is a back four: Shaw, Rudiger, Dallas, Phillips, with Salah captain in the midfield, Fernandes, Lingard, Greenwood, and up top is Antonio and Kane, with the bench looking like that. Now, I've got to make. I don't think I'm going to take the -4 this week because I am 11 points off the top of mine and Josh's mini league opponent rival. So I don't think I'm going to take the hit this week. And I think if I'm going to make a change, it will be, I think I'm going to stay away from making the keeper change because I don't think there's going to be many points in any keepers this week. It's going to be either Greenwood or Watkins out, and coming in would be either a City midfielder, Ferran Torres, Bernardo, Foden, one of them, or it's going to be Chris Wood up front. Now, I've got to make that decision based. I'm trying not to base it on early team news, but that's my early thoughts on what I'm going to do with my transfer this week. Hoping it will pay off because I need to make ground up, and I believe my mini league opponent, he doesn't have any City players. He doesn't have Chris Wood. So that's what I'm thinking there. Josh, what are your thoughts around that? Because I know you kind of know what's going on with both teams in there. Is that strategy enough to make up the ground?
It's actually quite nice being third and like not being able to win or lose anything, because I'm just watching it unfold. Both of you have had a really good season, to be fair, especially James. I don't think any of us expected for him to take our mini league, but a fair play to him. I think it'll be interesting. I think probably both of you will captain Salah. You sort of have to play it safe in that regard if you're going for mini leagues. Like, he's the obvious captaincy pick. I'm sure he won't blank 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, he's the obvious one for me. In terms of the rest of your team, goalkeeper pick, I probably wouldn't go for. I've seen on the last day, the average goals per game goes up by about 0.5. It's like over 3 goals per game. So the chances of there being a lot of clean sheets on offer this week, probably not high. So yeah, I'd steer clear of that goalkeeper pick. And I think Forster might actually play, because McCarthy played the last one, didn't he?
Yeah, he played the last couple, I think. But, there's not going to be many points in keepers this week, so what's the point in taking a hit for him?
Exactly.
FPL Penguin, what do you make of my team this week? Are the transfers that I'm thinking good, or is there another way you go about it?
Well, before I accidentally, I didn't kick myself out, disappear again, should I say? No, your team looks good, mate. And I like the Antonio pick. He's just a really good player. Lingard in there, just behind. Give him some good assists, hopefully, for this game. But Antonio, he's a wonderful player to watch, very, very fast, and he could hurt that Southampton team. He could. I expect goals for both sides. I think Che Adams is going to miss the game. I believe. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I saw something on Twitter. But it's a good team. You got Dallas, and I think Dallas is a wonderful player. I had him for a few game weeks. Sometimes shifts into that centre mid role like Lundstrom did last season. God knows what he's going to be next season, price wise or formation wise. So he's probably going to be a midfielder next season. Who knows? And probably about 5.5 million, something like that. But he's been a good asset. If you've had him, he's been a really good asset at Dallas. So he's definitely a lovely game to finish off the season with against West Brom. And he could get a good return in that, not just a clean sheet. So, yeah, it's a good teammate going forward for last game.
I think Dallas is one of the ones I've owned since, before, probably pre-game week 10. I've had him 20, 25 weeks at least. So he's done well for me. But, yeah, we'll move on to the last team, which is yours, FPL Penguin. Let me just get it up for you. Here we go. This is what your team is looking like. Do you want to talk us through kind of your thought process in your team this week?
Yeah, like I said, going all out. Not doing anything rash. Can't wait to finish million. Worst ever rank. But I put Pope in there. I'm going to see if he does start, because there's still about this injury news. If he doesn't, then De Gea's there. But you know what? Ollie's like rotating wise. Defensive wise, I know they're thinking of that Champions League final, but I've still got Diaz and Stones in there. Got Alioski in there. He's a regular starter, so I haven't got Dallas, but I have got Alioski, so he can get a return assist if he feels like it. Got Son in there. Gone for captain Salah because Golden Boot, Liverpool fans want to see us win that game and get Champions League football again next season. But I believe that Salah's going to get at least a goal in that game. Hopefully I've not jinxed it. So I've got Lingard as well, Harrison and Bamford, like I said, hoping for an entertaining game. Maybe get 2 or 3 goals for Leeds in that game. I just went for Harrison, like I said, over Rafinha, even though I honestly think Rafinha is a fantastic player. What a signing he's been for him. To me, and a lot of people say as well, he's just too good for that Leeds team. He offends to any Leeds fan, but he's been a fantastic signing for you. Question is, I think he will stay, probably. I think it'll be hard to keep hold of him. I think there'll be some other clubs in the summer trying to get his signature. This is Rafinha. But I've gone for Harrison. I've always liked Jack Harrison. I think he's a good one to go for. Harry Kane up there as well, another one going for the Golden Boot. So I thought, why not? It's against his former team, Leicester. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does against them. If Spurs completely just absolutely fall apart once again. Got Cavani up there as well. So Cavani's been a lovely striker as well. He's kind of a legend in the game. He's a big European striker. Playing for like Napoli and all that, and playing for PSG, playing some really good players in his career. And he's really fitted in well in that Manchester United team, and better than the team of Werner, should I say, as at Chelsea. But yeah, I think this is a good team going forward. Bench-wise, I've got De Gea, like I said, Smith Rowe, Cresswell, and Dyer. I probably might start Cresswell, but it's all about if someone like Stones or Diaz doesn't start again or come off the field. I am considering maybe starting Cresswell instead of either Diaz or Stones, just because Cresswell takes corners. And maybe West Ham will really go at that game. Who knows? And they've got some good aerial threat in the box as well. Sometimes Antonio, Souček in particular. So I might take out one of those City defenders and bring in Cresswell for the final game week. But overall, that's what I'm going for. Hopefully finish on a high and not finish 2 million. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a great team, to be fair. There's a lot of good players in there. I think I picked Alioski for my differential of the week last week, so he must have got the weekend before, not the midweek one. But yeah, he's picking up some points. I think he's returning more than Dallas in the last few weeks as well, which is a nice little differential to have. He's a little bit cheaper as well, which is always ideal. Yeah, I love the look of it. I think Bamford for me has been arguably one of my favourite assets this season. I think a lot of people, me and Ben included, wrote him off at the start of the season. Not a chance he's going to be returning a lot of those points, but we've seen a lot of goals, a lot of assists. He's been a better performer than the likes of Ollie Watkins and players like that. So a very good pick this season. I wonder what price he's going to be next season. That's going to be interesting because obviously Leeds assets not going to be as cheap as they were this year. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what price Bamford is. I'm not getting him in anyway, so it doesn't matter too much to me. I mean, not owned him all season. Half of the rank Josh's, so tells you all you need to know. All right, we'll move on now, and we talked about it a little bit before with your Alioski, but in terms of differential picks of this week, you got to go out, pick one player as your differential under 10% owned. Who are you going for? Josh, have you got one ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going for this one. Is all dependent on whether he plays or not, which is a bit of a risk, but I'm sure we'll hear a bit more about this team because they have nothing to play for. The game's pretty much a dud game. So I'm going to go for Ferran Torres because obviously that hat-trick against Newcastle, he's picked up a few returns before that as well. He's been on my radar for a while, but I'm just too scared to bite the bullet in terms of bringing him in, seeing him rotated. I had that hurt with Aguero, just picking up an injury out of nowhere. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for him. I've mentioned him about 3 times this live stream. I'm just in love with Ferran Torres, so he's my differential of the week.
I like it. FPL Penguin, do you have a differential for the people?
I do. Probably a bit biased, but I'm going to say Sadio Mane. I think, like I was talking about earlier in the stream, definitely one. A lot of people thinking of bringing him in for the final game. He got a goal assist last time on that 7-0 win against Crystal Palace. I don't know if it'll be that score this time round. Who knows? Like I said, it's been a funny season. But I think Mane, especially with Jota out, there's a chance that Klopp's saying, I think it's going to be Mane, Firmino and Salah. And I think we're really going to go at Crystal Palace once again. And I think Mane, he's under 10%. I think he's definitely on to I'm going to be watching him with my differential pick of the week.
Nice. So my differential of the week is going to be Side Ben Rama of West Ham United at 5.9 million. He's got 3 attacking returns in his last 4 fixtures. 0.3% owned. I think it'd be stupid not to at home to Southampton, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think if you're looking for someone to, kind of go up against Lingard, if you don't have Lingard and your mini league opponent does, Ben Rama could be that man to help you out a little bit. I think at that price as well, really cheap. So you could spend elsewhere. Yeah, Ben Rama for me is going to be my differential of the week.
Yeah, I think all 3 of those could easily return 1 or 2 returns.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, sorry, I was just going to say about Ben Rama. He's not got many minutes this season, but what I really want to say is I just feel he went to the wrong club going to West Ham. I feel like he could have gone to a club where he knew he was definitely going to start. I think with the amount of attacking options West Ham have got, I feel he knew that he just thought there was going to be so much rotation. Depends if he's going to be there next season. If he's going to be one of Moyes' definite starters next season. If he is, then he could be a really good one to have. 1 goal and 6 assists for the Hammers this season. But it's just a shame he's not picked himself that many minutes. Well, I know he has the last couple of games, but when he first arrived. But I'd like to see him start more for West Ham next season. So hopefully, maybe we'll see more of him.
Yeah, I think if West Ham don't sort out that Jesse Lingard sort of situation, Ben Rama's already there to, provide that creativity. So definitely on the watch list already for next season. Because he's got so little points and so little minutes, he could be priced even cheaper than he is now, which if he's 5.5 million, 5 million around that price bracket, you're looking at, you've got to get him in, right? So, yeah, that rounds up another FPL Fridays quite nicely. Should we do questions?
Let's do some questions.
Nearly forgot the questions. Not good. Let's have a look. Question here from Dylan. He says, I've also got Firmino and Salah. Which one's captain? Need to gain 16 points to get top 250k in my first season. What are we thinking about that one?
It's one of those where it's like the glass half full or half empty, because if he's going to captain Salah, you're going to have to maybe go against him. It's going to be interesting, that Crystal Palace game. Personally, for me, I can't see how it's going to go. It is also Roy Hodgson's last game in charge of Palace. Benteke is going back to Liverpool. Hodgson's going back to Liverpool. There is a bit of a story suggesting, Palace could just overturn Liverpool. They've lost a lot at Anfield this season. But I do think Liverpool will win the game, saying that. For me, I have both of those. If I was going to captain one, it's probably in his position got to be Salah for me.
Yeah, I think Salah's probably also it's the safer option. I think it's the one. If you've got both of them, then I think you're looking good already. So let's go for another question here. FPL Sparta, take a -4 for Trent in. Now, FPL Penguin, what do we think about that? Is it worth taking a -4 to get Trent in? I know you're talking about him a lot earlier.
Yeah, I've always said this: never take a -4 for a defender or a goalkeeper. It's not worth it. Trent, as I said, last few games looking more attacking now, looking like the Trent of old. But I don't think it's worth it. No, for a -4, I don't feel you could get that much of a profit. Like I said, it could be a tough game. I can't see it being like a 7-0 once again. But a Sparta, play your own game, mate, and it could work out for you. But I don't feel a -4 is worth it for Trent in this game.
This next one's not a question, but a statement from Sam that says Penguin looks a lot like Jack Harrison. Come to think of it, I've never seen the two of them at the same time. Who's starting for Leeds then at the weekend? We got to ask. We got to ask you.
Steve-O from Elite FPL said that. Jack Harrison. Yeah, it's going to be me at this rate. I'll be a stunt double. and it's the man done. 2 years of rocking it. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Moving on.
We'll take one or two more questions if they come in. The CK17 says 30 points behind first in his mini league. First of all, that's a lot of points for 1 week to make up. The guy above me has Kane, so got rid of him for Wood. He doesn't have Salah either. So do I captain Mo Salah or Chris Wood? It's a bit obvious the answer, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, got to be Salah, surely.
Yeah, if there's going to be 1 week that he makes it up, right? It's going to be
the Sheffield United game will be a tougher Burnley. I think, yeah. I think people hyping, Wood's been in great form last couple of games, but I think it's a no-brainer that and go for Salah because he's gone for the golden boot. I think Sheffield United will prove to be a test. They proved it already, being relegated. They're no mugs. They're not sitting back. They're going for it. They're scoring, and I think they'll give Burnley a tough game. So I'm going to still say Salah captain, obviously.
Yeah. Here's another one. Hi, mate from Ireland. Want to hit 2,100 points. Captain Salah or Antonio? That's interesting because I've got Antonio as my vice at the moment because I really do think West Ham have got a chance of scoring some goals against Southampton. Josh, what do you reckon? Do you reckon Antonio's worth, captaining this week?
Yeah, he's a gunman for West Ham, isn't he? As long as he's fit, he's always producing those goals. And obviously, I always remember last season when he bagged those 4 goals against Norwich, and I'm just like, could he do it? Could he do it again? Like Southampton are prone to leaking a lot of goals, so it'd be awesome if something like that happens. For me, like if you're not really playing for anything other than a points target, I'd just go Antonio. Like have a bit of fun with it. Last day of the season, sort of thing. That's what I'll be doing this week for sure. Nothing to play for. But yeah, if you're got mini leagues on the line, I think Salah's the obvious choice. Like if you're taking it serious, Salah, Kane, those guys. But if you're gonna have fun with it, Leeds assets, maybe Iheanacho, as I mentioned earlier, they're all good for some differentials.
Yeah, that kind of answers Marcus's question as well, doesn't it? In terms of proper differential captains. Penguin, if you could, have a differential captain this week, who would it be? Would it be Antonio or is it someone else you got in mind?
I think Antonio, like you were talking about, like I'm just saying how good of a player he is, and if you want to go for it. He could really do some damage to Southampton. I mean, God knows which goalkeeper they're going to go for. Forster, McCarthy, bit of pet roulette right there.
Literally.
But I think Antonio could be a nice differential. But Mane, I'm going to still say Mane. I know it sounds crazy, but a differential captain, like I said, differential pick. I think everyone's talking about Salah golden boot. It could be the Mane show against Palace, to be honest with you. Come to think of it, so I think differential captain. If I was going to do one and I had him, I'll slap it on Mane.
Yeah, we'll take one more question. If we don't answer your question here, always over on Instagram answering questions. FPL Graduates on Instagram. We'll go for this one from Dylan. Which transfer to make? Emi Martinez to Casilla, Pereira to Willock, or Kane to Werner?
It's interesting because I was thinking about doing one of those transfers, and the Kane to Werner one was in my thoughts. Those late night thoughts when you're in bed just tinkering. Werner's actually in the last 5 game weeks, he's not played once, and each of the games he's played, he's returned 5 points every time. So he's almost like reliable in that sort of regard. It's been interesting. I feel like next season Werner's a really interesting shout. If Chelsea don't sign another striker, like they've obviously been rumoured with Harry Kane, I think he's probably going to stay the same price, I'd hope, because he's not really lit the world up like this season. He's got some decent returns, but I feel like next season he might be able to get those returns that we all expected him to get this season, especially around 9 million. I feel that that's quite cheap for a player of his ability that we know he can have. I don't know about you boys. Which one would you pick?
I'd definitely lean towards the Willock transfer a bit more because Pereira I don't think is going to play this week, and Willock 6 last 6 games, 6 goals. And to be honest, with that Spurs one, Kane, I think he will score against Leicester. Leicester have to go for it realistically, and they have to come out and attack Spurs. And I think that's where Spurs play at their best, when teams are going at them. They could counter with Bale, Son, Kane up there, and could be a relatively high scoring game, that Leicester Spurs one. So I'd probably be tempted to keep Kane. And like I said, I wouldn't even, make a keeper transfer at this point in the season. Not really any point right now. Penguin, what do you think? If you're in that position, what transfer are you making?
Definitely the Willock one, bringing in Willock. And just want to quickly get a point across. It was about Casilla, we pronounce his name. I'm very surprised he started the last game. For Leeds, I got a clean sheet against Southampton. Werner is definitely not a good one. I don't rate Werner. He's been a flop. I don't know. To be honest with you, I kind of question his future at Chelsea. If he's still going to be there next season. I just think, to be honest with you, I had him and Ziyech. One of them was injured. So I had Timo Werner game with one team, had him for a few weeks, absolutely flopped. But with Timo Werner, definitely not. I think Villa will prove to be a test. I really do. Martinez, pronounce his name, for Villa will once again, get them saves. I think Willock is definitely one to finish as on. Definitely bring in, and it could be a good one.
Yeah, Newcastle have been overperforming in the last few weeks. A lot of people wrote them off, maybe relegation candidates, but they've shown they do have a bit of quality in that final third. So Willock, again, if I was going to pick one, I'd definitely have picked that one this week. But very nice transfers, and a nice way to end this week's episode. The last episode of this season, Ben. 33 of them.
Yeah, we've had a few FPL Fridays this season. We're gonna, as we said, keep going in the off season with the fantasy Euros and that sort of thing. We're definitely going to be involved in that. We've also already got our own mini league set up. I believe, is a league code on one of our TikToks.
Yeah, TikTok. I think it's also on the Instagram as well. So if you haven't already joined that, definitely go and join that. And I think you're doing FPL, Euro fantasy, should I say, FPL Penguin?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm looking forward to playing that, and I'm kind of just teaming up with the lads from the FPL Gameweek, formerly known as the FPL Lounge, doing a bit of a prize league and stuff. But I'm looking forward to Euro fantasy as a whole. I think it's going to be exciting. Once again, come on England, build us up and then knock us down once again. Lose to like Finland or something like that. But I'm looking forward to it overall, and it's something to look forward to. We're not bored of summer, and get straight back into the new season FPL, and that's it, lads. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that rounds it off quite nicely. And as always, we've left FPL Penguin all of his links down below in the description. Make sure to go check him out. Some great stuff you're doing across YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. He is on it. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the FPL Graduates channels. We're on everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I don't know, every other platform there is. As always, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And I've been the Penguin.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. And we'll see you guys
later. Have a good game week, everybody.